By the beginning of the second year, the Nile had failed again. The people of Egypt had waited in desperate hope that the river would return to its cycle, for the waters to rise and feed the land. But once more, the banks remained dry. The flood had abandoned the nation. And now it was no longer just a crisis, it was catastrophe. In the markets of Cairo, chaos was unfolding. What little food remained was hoarded by the rich. Grain merchants locked their storerooms, selling only at prices the common man could never afford. A loaf of bread, once the daily staple of every family, now cost a man his entire wage. If he was lucky enough to find one, people sold their possessions. Jewelry, tools, family heirlooms, even their clothes. First, the luxuries disappeared, then the essentials. And still, there was no food. Some began grinding bones and mixing them with flour. Others boiled grass or tree bark, feeding their children with mixtures barely edible. Rumors spread of people fighting over animal dung, hoping to find undigested grains inside. Cairo's once bustling streets became scenes of silent suffering. Beggars lined every corner. Children cried from hunger in doorways. Entire families huddled together in alleys, waiting for death or for a miracle. And in the midst of it all, theft and violence began to rise. When food becomes more valuable than gold, morals begin to break. Bread carts were raided. Storehouses, people fought in the streets over a handful of lentils. Neighbors turned on each other. Friends became rivals. Even families fractured. The caliph's soldiers, once respected and feared, began to abandon their posts. Many hadn't been paid in months. Some joined the chaos, selling their swords to the highest bidder. Others became bandits themselves. The city was breaking apart, and the countryside, even worse. Farms were deserted, villages emptied, roads became dangerous paths where starving travelers fell, never to rise again. Egypt, the jewel of the Fatimids, was no longer a land of light and knowledge. It was becoming a graveyard, and the worst was still to come.